Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term providers help thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-9336. Big Lou and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-444-9336. 800-444-9336.
It's time for Farm and Range headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. Well, the USDA did not rock the peanut market this past week, predicting that acreage in peanuts will be down 1% for the coming year. I talked to some brokers about the market yesterday. They said uncertainty has been the buzzword around the peanut market of these past few weeks. Uncertainty over new crop acres has been influenced by the corn market and the cotton market and the steady climb of prices. Also, a converse argument about the increased input costs. Input costs for peanuts being the lower of most of the commodities. And it has escalated more recently with cotton and soybean futures rising along with the diesel cost soaring. Adding to all that uncertainty is Russia's invasion of Ukraine that's only fueled the rising commodity markets and rising input costs for growers. It has also led to a rising oil prices and uncertainty over the South American peanut exports to those two countries. Amid all this uncertainty, there is one thing for sure. USDA's report will do little to offer some clarity about today's peanut market. Farmers are still negotiating with buying points on what to do. Many of them are still delayed. We hadn't got to planting time yet, but some buying points are reporting a good response.
Farmers, produce safety inspections are here. Prepare your farm with an on-farm readiness review. The Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services and University of Florida are partnering to provide this on-site preparation service for free. Our team of produce safety experts offer individualized support to make sure your operation meets the regulatory requirements. Contact us to help prepare your farm today. Request your free visit at www.fdacs.gov/OFRR. That's www.fdacs.gov/OFRR.
Southeast AgNet Radio Network.
Cotton producers not only here in the Southeast, but across the country.
Your trusted agriculture news provider for the deep Southeast.
I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
While we may disagree a lot, we do agree Rural King's our favorite place for spring planting.
Yeah, but we've got to focus. Roses, a couple flats of impatiens, and a spade.
A shovel? I'm thinking tiller.
We do not need a tiller.
Wait, a mower. Those new zero turns are sweet.
Focus. Roses, mulch, shovel, impatiens.
Jeez, talk about impatient.
Can I help you?
Yeah, chainsaws.
Let's go.
I'm almost done mowing this section.
Ridiculous.
Today will be warm with sun and clouds and a high of 88 to 90, then warm tonight with increasing cloudiness and a low of 69 to 73. Warm day Wednesday with variable cloudiness, high 88 to 93. Breezy in the morning Thursday, otherwise cloudy, thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon, and a high of 82 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Join Gary and Don Crawford of Pinnacle Retirement Advisors for Retirement with Pinnacle, Saturday mornings at 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retirement with Pinnacle with Gary and Don Crawford, Saturday mornings at 9. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
This hour of Ocala Talks is brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture. Go see all their specials at blockersfurniture.com.
Bringing advice to you.
right, it's Tuesday, hour number 2 of Ocala Talks. That means it's time for In the Garden with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin, and she's here full-voiced this week. Carol Ann, good morning.
Good morning. I don't know if it's full voice, but it's better than it was. Preemptive lozenge in the mouth to make sure.
Last week, I literally had somebody text me and go, "Is your mom on the radio with you?" I go, "What are you talking about?" And they went, "Her voice sounds just like yours." I go, "I don't know that she would be happy with you saying that."
Oh, I know. I was horrible.
And she may be younger than me. I don't know. But actually,
I was rough.
It
had gotten me. It started out, just as that allergy stuff, and it just happened to settle into a sinus infection, and so. But antibiotics worked their wonders, and so doing much better, and just have to, finish getting past that cough.
Yesterday, my lawn guys came.
Oh.
And I locked myself in the house with the windows shut because the front lawn had probably.
The oak.
No, it was worse than that. It tells me we need to weed, put some weed killer out, because I probably had 65, 70 dandelions, and they're the worst.
Yeah, but dandelions feed the bees.
Dandelions drive my sinuses crazy.
Oh, really? So, I don't think I think mine was the pollinating, the oak and the gum.
And then he was driving by, and the ones he didn't cut before he cut it, they were just blown off.
Yeah, all the seed heads,
Right. So, but you can tell spring is sprung.
Yes.
Because the grass is greening up.
Grass is greening up on its own. We've had a lot of rain.
But it's going to cool off again.
Yeah, and the mornings have been chilly.
But today it's supposed to be almost 90.
Okay.
But in 2 days, it's supposed to be a high of 72 and the lows in the upper 40s and
that's probably
mid-50s.
When I'm off. Anybody want to know when I'm off? Look at either the really bad weather or the cold.
Upper 40s, lower 50s. That's late in April.
It is. But then again, we have had those. I don't know what the moon phase is right now. I should have taken
quarter moon last night.
Quarter moon last night. So we're not near.
Actually, it wasn't even a full quarter moon. It was the Cheshire Cat.
Oh, okay, little. That
little
one that
looks
sliver.
like the sliver, the Cheshire Cat moon.
Yep.
I know that's not what it's called, but that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah. It's just that little bottom sliver.
Right.
But that's it. We've had cold weather. I was talking to a coworker who, I'm originally from New Jersey, but escaped when the getting was good. And my coworker, he too is from New Jersey, but just came down here a few years back. And I said, he was talking about the weather that they just recently had. I says, well, as a kid, I remember rain on Christmas and snow on Easter.
Oh.
That it would be warmish, 40s, over Christmas holiday. But Easter, which I don't know if those were early Easters in the March or if they were April or April Easter. But even then, still up there, they're not planting till May.
Right.
So to have a weird late snow wouldn't be unusual. It would be unusual, but not unheard of. So to have another little cold snap, and it'll be a one day.
Yes.
Same thing.
Yeah.
The 90 degrees, it's going to hit that.
That's a one-day thing.
For 2 hours.
Right.
And begin to go down.
So towards the end of February, if you remember back a month or so ago, towards the end of February, there were fires raging in the Panhandle.
Yes.
They were, burning up acres.
Oh, they were, yes.
And then one front came through that dumped a lot of rain on us and put the fires out.
Yeah.
7 cities in our area. Orlando, the Gainesville area, from Gainesville to Melbourne, okay? In that little area that Channel 6 handled.
Right.
I saw this morning on Channel 6. 7 metropolitan areas in that area broke rainfall totals for the month of March. Melbourne broke it by 7.5 inches.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, it was so.
Ocala missed its record by 1/4 of an inch.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, we had some rain.
The rainy season's not here.
Right.
But March was really, really wet.
These were fronts that came through that they were part of all
winter.
That southern, but all that mess that came from the southwest and across the deep south and everything, because our rainy season occurs over Florida.
Yeah.
It's sea breeze.
It's the sea breeze, exactly.
Activated, and high temperatures, high humidity.
Like you'll
and all
see
that.
today, probably, because it'll be 90 degrees.
And they are. Actually, it was like I had to move 2 plants back. It's like, I got to move you back up under the roof because you don't need any
this
more
afternoon's 40% chance of rain.
Right.
Because of the sea breezes.
Right.
But it's been wet. We went from a high fire
chance to now
low.
it's still soggy in the yard in some places.
Exactly.
But my yard's still wet because it
But
doesn't get a lot of sun.
What do you say to people? How do people combat? Because too much water on your grass can be.
Well, hopefully it turns your sprinklers back off. At that right now, again, we had that heavy rain. If we do not have any rain in 7 to 10 days, okay, turn them back on.
Saturday rained enough for a while.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But, I mean, but still, your grass does need that little more on the regular because that top part will dry, especially if it's in a sunny location, which that's where our turf grows the best. So if we're not getting any rain in that 7 to 10 day period, okay, we need to irrigate. But because we're not getting so excessively hot, it's not stressing and needing rain necessarily every other, we don't want to water every other day.
Would it have been good yesterday because it was 2 days removed from Saturday's rain? Would yesterday have been a good day or today be a good day to fertilize?
It would, just because we're not really expecting any rain. But we're now into April, and so we should be finished fertilizing because everything is growing now. We don't want to fertilize as, we want to give ourselves enough time if we're going to do that second fertilization before the rainy season starts to get that done. So that's why that mid to end of March and then end of May kind of thing, you get into April and we're looking at going, guess what? You're not going to fertilize, or you're going to be fertilizing when I'm telling you not to because it's raining.
622-9622 is the number to call if you want to ask Caroline any questions. A neighbor of mine was out and I was watching him cut his grass, and we had neighbor conversations. I was going to the mailbox and everything. And he goes, I wish you'd warm up so this ryegrass would die out because he likes to keep his grass green throughout the year.
So he plants his rye.
So he planted ryegrass, and now he's complaining that it won't die out
because we're still cool enough in the evening. And the ryegrass really does take till about the end of April, first part of May to really die out. It'll start patching out as we hit some of these warmer days, but then again, you throw in a cool night, throw a cool night in, and you see, I mean, the grass is beginning to grow because we got rain. Grass is beginning to grow because it is a little warmer, but it's not growing like it will in May, June, July,
where you cut
August,
it on Monday and need to cut it on Thursday again.
That you're mowing 3 times a week in order to keep that within a proper mowing, less stressful to the lawn.
You look out here at the airport.
It's green.
It's green.
It's green. You can't tell. You can tell a couple of the weeds from, and I mean that's looking across. Those are the weeds that you can always tell. But most of the stuff it looks, if it's green, mow it. Kind of grass. Yeah.
Right. And this happened within the last week or so.
Yes, with the rains and with the warmer temperatures, that really has brought us up. Things are budding out and beginning to grow. The jasmines are blooming. The gardenias have got buds on them. The azaleas were pretty good this year. Now they might have gotten knocked back with all that heavy rain that you might have lost, and that happens to us most years, that we get this fantastic flush of bloom and then we get a storm like we just had and it just destroys all the flowers.
3 weeks ago the jasmine was down below the roof line and wasn't blooming.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I told my lawn guys, you got to get that jasmine off the roof. Because it's all of a sudden everywhere.
It's
down almost to the ground now, down by the electric fence. I'm like, look, we got to do something about this jasmine.
Right.
But it makes it's right on the back lanai, so it makes the back lanai
nice
smell great and everything.
Nice and fragrant. Yeah, I had cut mine, and my daughter she wanted to kill me. A couple years ago, I cut mine down. But I needed to. It had so much dead stuff in there. I needed to see what the fence looked like.
How good is it now?
It's coming back nicely. I think by next year I'll have a nice. I mean, it's growing. It's got bloom on it, so it's like, okay, it's still happy. I'm able to see where the poison ivy was coming up in it, so I can continue to.
So you don't have to roll around.
Yeah, I don't have to roll around in it anymore. Remember the poison ivy I hit? Yeah. So it's coming back now. So she'll be a little happy in that. But my gardenia is full of bud, ready to burst. Looking forward to that.
I was playing golf yesterday with somebody you may know.
Okay.
A guy named Dan.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And we're playing, and Dan, the fairway is not his friend.
Okay.
The woods is where Dan
likes to
he
hang
enjoys
out?
playing out of
Playing
the woods.
out of the woods, okay.
And so he hits his ball to the right side over at Muni on 13.
Okay.
And he goes, "Where's my ball?" I go, "Over there." So I drive over, and he goes, "Where's it at?" And I go, "In there." He goes, "You're not going to come help me look?" I go, "Nah, I'm not stepping it all in poison ivy." I mean, it was a carpet of poison ivy.
Oh, no. Sure, it was poison ivy and not.
Oh, yeah, it was poison ivy.
Leaves of 3.
Oh, yeah. It was leaves of 3. It wasn't leaves of 5. It was leaves of 3.
Leaves of 3.
And it was vining up the pine trees on 3 different pine trees. Like, I'm not walking over there. But Dan had the high socks on and everything.
Okay, so go home and shower.
Didn't have any problem, but I'm not.
Not
gonna do it. And usually poison ivy doesn't affect me.
I'm
but
not
I just
badly,
don't want it. I just don't want that one time.
Yeah. Normally I'm not horribly affected by poison ivy. The last time I was cutting in it, so I had the sap.
Right.
And that's what really got me, because usually I can get,
Is it something you can take care of if you got poison ivy? Is that something you can take care of with an herbicide or
a brush
weed
killer? Yeah, a
or
brush killer is going to be what'll knock that out. The woody type vines, if you can isolate it, all the better, to where you can actually maintain it or monitor what it's doing. If you get it down to something. Anytime you're trying to control vines, is if they're going up trees, cut them off at about 4 feet. And that way you've only got to treat that 4 feet down. Because don't try to spray up in a tree. Why do that? That's kind of silly. But if you leave that vine up there growing, your herbicide's not going to work near as well. So bring it down to 4 feet or so. And if you don't want to spray, put your plastic gloves on if it's something like poison ivy. And even if you were doing Virginia creeper, because you're going to take a sponge or a baggie or a little cup, and you're going to dip those cut ends right into that.
The poison will soak through?
Will be absorbed through that, and it'll take it down. So you dunk it in there, paint it on, take a sponge brush, a sponge where you can wet it, and that's why I say, wear the disposable gloves, and just rub those stems down. A brush killer will be absorbed that way. It doesn't need the leafy portion of the plant in order to be absorbed. With them cut like that, you can watch it. Brush killer does not kill overnight. You will not see wilt overnight. This does not contain dicot, which will burn the top and not have the root system dead yet. It can take weeks, especially if it's a large smilax vine. I mean, if anybody is familiar with smilax, that's the bullbriar. Has a huge tuberous root system
and got
underground.
Thorns the size of human fingers.
Has thorns. It's edible. So actually, if you cut the top, you can take the tips and go ahead and munch on those. You may take multiple applications to really rid an area of something like that. Now, if it's on the ground and like a carpet of it, you can go ahead and spray that. I would cut anything off of where it's going up the trees to allow that, again, to kill that at ground level. But yeah, right now, while it's still small, where they're coming up, maybe where you've pruned your hedges and things like that, you can see what's coming up in them now, and you can get into them and start to get a control.
Delivered the same way most weeds are, bird poop and stuff like that.
Yeah. That they'll eat the seeds, eat the berries on them, and that, and when things like poison ivy and that, when they go up a tree, the seeds drop and bounce or replant,
wind
carries them a little further, and so it's not necessarily that we're doing them that way, but.
And that's the key to poison ivy is, remember, it's 3 leaves.
Yep. And don't burn poison ivy.
No.
Never burn poison ivy. I would even...
Tell people why you shouldn't burn poison ivy.
Well, poison ivy, the oils in poison ivy is what makes us allergic. And when you burn that, you put that in the air, and you can breathe it. You can get it in your eyes. You can get it in your ears. You can get it on way more parts of your body than you would.
Yeah, because the oil is still in that smoke.
It's in that smoke, and it can be very, very detrimental, especially to those who are ultra sensitive. But even still, if anybody's ever had poison ivy on their face, it's miserable. It's embarrassing too, because when your eyes are swelled shut, and you get your face all mooned out because you're all your face is all done, and you got to go get the steroid shot and that in order to knock that back. Yeah, it's not fun. I would even suggest when you collect it up is to put it in regular garbage. I would not put it, if you have yard waste collection or you want to put it in your yard bags and take it to, don't do that, because again, if somebody's using this as a mulch, if it comes back to a mulch, you're just putting those oils right back into somebody else's problem.
Do we have as big a problem here in Florida as they do elsewhere with other kinds of poisonous vines? Like, I don't know that I would know where to even look for like poisonous sumac.
I don't think we have poison sumac, because that's what I was allergic to up north, and I would get it every year.
Because it grows in North Carolina like
it grew in
like
the woods.
A weed.
Yeah, it grew in the woods in New Jersey, and we played in the woods, as kids. And every year I'd get it, and I would get the moon faced. I'd get the whole shut both eyes, where you
and then we got some poison oak here, but not a ton.
I don't think as much. Yeah, we've got the
more
poison
up towards
ivy,
Jacksonville and all.
I
where
think,
it's cooler.
and especially when you have a little more groomed neighborhoods, you don't have as much of that. But of course, anything can be a little bit sensitive, to things. Your jasmine has a milky sap. If you're allergic to latex, you can have a problem. Poinsettias are not toxic or poisonous. The sap is milky. Some people are sensitive to it. Your animals are not attracted to eat it, but again, that latexy sap could cause digestive problems. It's not that it's good. Your animals are not going to eat enough of it to kill them. So, unlike philodendron and things like that can truly be, or sago palms, that can truly be poisonous to your pets.
I saw last night, I was watching a survivalist show. I didn't know this. Mm-hmm. They found a lot of wild jasmine. They ground it up into fine and got the oil and everything, and actually used it to rub it on their hands and necks and all to keep mosquitoes off of them. Said it. Mosquitoes will land on you, but they don't like the smell of the jasmine oil and all, and will leave. And I'd never heard that before.
I'd never heard of that.
They did it last night. They said it's not a foolproof, but it stops you from. The guy was they were actually in they were in Alaska in the summer, and I didn't realize that the summer Alaska
they have
has mosquitoes.
Horrible mosquitoes.
But they have horrible mosquitoes, and they found some wild jasmine and ground it up and made a paste out of it.
It's got to be probably a different kind of jasmine.
I'm sure
more like where people think of the yellow jessamine. That's a native plant, so it would probably be more like that. That it's a native jasmine to that area. So I wouldn't necessarily go out in the backyard and dig up a piece of the.
Thinking you're going to have
mosquito repellent, right? If I was going to do something like that, I would go ahead and have the either lavender, because what you're doing is you're masking your scent.
That's what you're
carbon
doing.
Dioxide. You're masking your carbon
with
dioxide
another scent that they don't care for as much.
Exactly. That's where the lemongrass. If you've got some lemongrass and you're going to work out in the garden or whatever, and you're wearing a hat, take a few pieces, bruise them up a little bit, tuck them into the brim of your hat. Have a little string around or a band around your hat. You can put them in there. That'll help to keep them away from your face. Rub your arms with some of the, if you're looking for a little more natural, protectant, repellent type thing, that you can rub your hands and arms, arms and legs with that.
You mean if you don't have skin so soft?
Right. But skin so soft has to be the original.
Right.
And I know that works best for no-see-ums. I don't know if it really works as well for mosquitoes.
It works okay for mosquitoes, but for no-see-ums, it's amazing.
Yeah, no-see-ums, that's the only thing that works for no-see-ums.
But my favorite thing with the mosquitoes, just because since I was a child, I like the stove burner.
Oh, the coil.
The coil that you burn. I like that better than their citronella coils and everything instead of the candles. But and in mosquito season with this rain, it could get here a little early.
It might kick up a little early. So, yes, while we have this rain, while we have a few dry days, go around, look and see what's collecting water, that might have been forgotten over the dry season. Tip it out. Make sure that your drainage in things that need to have drain holes so that it's running through. All that kind of stuff. Make your bird baths. Don't forget that we need to clean them on a regular basis, and just vinegar, a scrub brush, and your hose. Don't get any bleach in there. There are some commercially available algicides and things like that, and even mosquiticides, or larvicides, I should say, on that can be used in your fountains and that. But if it's like your bird bath, I would just use keep your bottle of vinegar in your tool cabinet, brush, pour a little vinegar in there, brush it down good, hose it out, fill it up, and your birds are happy, and you won't be poisoning.
The retention pond behind the house, they redid some work on it and everything.
Right.
And it's holding water. I've never seen it hold water. Now it's holding water, but it's rained so much.
Right, that it's going to take a little bit to perk.
If it doesn't in the next 3 or 4 days, empty.
Yeah, you're going to need some mosquito dunks?
Well, no, what I'm going to do is I'll just go out there with my water hose, and I'll spray the water hose, because a lot of the mosquito larvae, if you put oxygen in the water and move the water around, it disrupts. It's stagnant, non-moving water.
Right, is what mosquitoes breed in. Right, but a lot of times, and that's why if you have a bucket of water that say was back behind the shed or something, it's like, oh, you come across that and you look in and you go, wow, that's a lot of mosquito larvae. Don't just tip it.
No.
Get you some vegetable oil or some dish soap
and
put a couple drops in there first and let it sit for a few minutes. That breaks the surface tension and they drowned.
Right.
Because if you tip it, watch sometime if you ever do that, and watch and see how many fly off, because they can suddenly, boom, go from that larvae to a mosquito in an instant.
Yeah.
In an instant. A couple drops of dish soap or vegetable oil in there. It's not going to hurt the ground, and just let it, and then go ahead and give it 5 or 10 minutes. Dump that out, and then you've gotten rid of it.
Because the larvae will have drowned.
By then. Yeah.
And it's all about breaking the surface and breaking
surface tension.
Right.
Now, if you have, say, rain barrels and things like that, and you're concerned on mosquitoes breeding in there, that maybe they can get through your screen, a little maintenance on that might help. But there are mosquito dunks or mosquito bits. They're a Bacillus thuringiensis variety that you measure your surface, the top surface of the water, and that's how you base the quantity that you're going to use. They're available commercially they should be probably in every big box store, especially at this time of year, that sells some pond supplies. And you can order them online. Obviously, I think you can order everything online.
Yeah.
But a little pinch of those, or a little piece of one of those little mosquito dunk donuts. If you have a pond and you don't have fish in it, and part of it doesn't move a whole lot because maybe you have water lilies in there, the mosquito dunks work well in those as well. That to help to keep that larvae down if you don't have fish.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. You're listening to In the Garden with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin on WOCA, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
President Biden, Vice President Harris, and former President Barack Obama will deliver remarks on the Affordable Care Act and lowering health care costs. The new policy is designed to close a loophole in the ACA known as the family glitch that's prevented an estimated 5 million people from qualifying for subsidized health plans.
They will have lunch tomorrow as well as they used to do on a weekly basis. I would note they continue to talk regularly. They are real friends, not just Washington friends, and so I'm sure they will talk about events in the world as well as their families and personal lives.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and Joint Chiefs of Staff Chair Mark Milley will testify before the Armed Services Committee in just about a half hour. Republican Georgia Governor Brian Kemp is expected to sign a bill that outlines the rights of parents to review public school classroom materials, opt their children out of sex education, and access all records related to their children. USA Radio News.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free.
Thanks, Pat. Call toll-free 800-630-1490. That's 800-630-1490.
Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Again, 800-630-1490. 800-630-1490 today.
Or at SwissAmerica.com.
Howdy, folks. RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, less proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hello, I'm Mark Sears with Regency Printing. With over 10 years in the printing business, I know you'll find Regency Printing the place for all your local printing needs. Plus, I have fax services, mailbox rentals, notary service, U.S. mail, pack and ship, all at one convenient location, 2375 Northeast 25th Avenue. Just look for the yellow signs. Regency Printing, 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Regency Printing.
It's bow time. Ever taste something so good you just get hooked? Like the Bo Jangler, the only fish sandwich splashed with Bo's famous seasoning. So we're having a fish fry, Bo Jangle style, spicing up premium fish fillets with the good stuff and slathering them with melty cheese and tangy tartar sauce to hook your taste buds with just one bite. Reel in a Bojangler today, only at Bojangles.
Catch the Bojangler at 4828 Southwest College Road here in Ocala.
You say you're looking for the unusual with some plants that are different, creative, just what you like? Well, my friend, you'll find all this and lots more at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens. Try these uniquely different ideas out for size. Blooming spirea or bridal wreath, just $22.99. Or gorgeous Hawaiian tie, only $26.99. Fabulous budded and blooming Amy gardenias, just $34.99. And Japanese magnolia, they're gorgeous, just $45.99. Now that's just the beginning. Best thing is go to bobwinescamelliagardens.net or check the ad in the paper. And don't forget, during tree planting time, you get one tree at Bob Wine's super low price, and you get a second one just like it for half price. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, they're on Southeast 38th Street in Ocala. They're open daily till 4, Saturdays till 3, and the same blooming place since 1952.
That's right. It's In the Garden with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Let's go out to the phone lines. Good morning. You're on with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin.
Good morning, Carol Ann. This is Sonny calling.
Good morning.
Tom.
Good morning.
We went and bought a bunch of bird feeders.
Okay.
Put them up.
Okay.
Because we have the shepherd's hooks.
Mm-hmm.
And the squirrels actually ripped the cover off the one bird feeder.
Yep.
Which caused it to dump on the ground, but they had a field day. Another bird feeder I have, there was like little doors on there for either feeding finch or real small birds that like they go into. Well, it's like a little pivoting door where you can open it up and let all kinds of birds will eat there.
Okay.
They literally ripped these little door things off, or they broke them.
Right.
And you should see what they did to the bird feeders. I mean, they're usable, but you can sure tell they were mad enough to try to get in there to get that seed.
Oh yeah.
So I'm back to putting the Vaseline on the straight
pole.
parts of the shepherd's hook.
Yes.
And so far it seems to be working. At least the only thing I have now is the finch and the chickadees coming around.
Oh, good.
And maybe I'll see something a little bigger, like a starling or something.
Sure.
As it's up, but it's just amazing how these squirrels you take the top off. It's like on a wire.
Right.
Well, they came with strings. The squirrels chewed
the string
and
immediately.
One of them fell on the ground.
Wow. Yes. Yeah, and it didn't take them long either, I'm sure.
No.
Just.
I didn't see them do it because I guess they do all their damage in the mornings or the late
probably.
evenings. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that it happened in the morning or evening. The Vaseline on the poles, the Slinky toys. That you can. I think you can probably find them at Walmart. I have heard people take and put those over to where they can't get a hold of it. There's baffles if you have like a more straight pole kind of thing, or if it's something hanging out of a tree. That there are different ways. Cayenne pepper added to the seed seems to help as well, but you have to clean the feeders more often because birds like the cayenne pepper because they can't taste that heat. Squirrels have a wet tongue like we do, and so the cayenne pepper, the crushed red pepper, they can taste it. Another thing is if you can find, I know my store, I don't know about any other of the big blue Lowe's stores, safflower, SAFFLOWER, squirrels do not like that. We have not been able to get any in. We have been out of it. I don't know why. I don't know if there was a bad safflower crop. Birds love it. The cardinals love the safflower, but squirrels hate it. If you can locate some of that, when I used to feed the birds before, because sometimes you end up with, well, not just the squirrels, but raccoons and stuff too that'll try to get up in them. I used to add safflower to some of the other mixes so the bag lasted me a little longer. But it's tough. Squirrels are smart.
You can say that again.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my one bird feeder that I resurrected here.
Mm-hmm.
And I have yellow finch on there.
Okay,
the
nice.
Blackwing.
Yeah.
Pretty little bird.
Mm-hmm.
And another one with a red chest.
Is it a robin maybe?
No.
Okay.
It's real small.
Oh, okay, little tiny.
And it has a red body.
Right.
And the wings are black.
Oh, nice.
And I got something right now just landed on a fence nearby the feeder.
Checking it
and
out.
It's smaller than the yellow finch.
Wow. Nice. Yeah,
but,
so you've
I
got the birds coming.
You
just got to keep the squirrels at bay.
Yeah, that's it. The Vaseline, I love it when they they try to jump and they get on the pole, and no matter what they do, they go down. And when they hit the ground, they're like walking very funny until they
get that off of their feet because it's gooey. Yeah, it's just something you have to check on every couple of days because they will get it smushed off of there to where it's not slippery anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the sun will do a number on it too to melt everything down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I just was astounded at the damage that they could do to a bird feeder
in a very short period of time. Yeah. I've seen them chew the openings wider so that the seed just pours out more easily for them. And when people put up bird houses, that they'll chew those openings wider and they'll take over in those bird houses. And
yes.
Sometimes we pay a lot of money on some of those feeders, and the destruction they can do. So usually metal ones are harder for them, obviously, to tear up. There are some, but they're pricey. Again, same with the metal, that have their weight triggered, because birds are so light they don't trigger it. But when the squirrel jumps on it, closes all the doors on them. But even then, I've heard of them being able to figure those out over time.
Yeah.
The one thing they can't figure out, Sonny, if you take one of those metal hanging poles and you hang your bird feeder from that with the Vaseline or the Pam.
He likes the Vaseline. He does the
Vaseline.
Vaseline.
They ain't figured that out. Yeah, that's your best. That's your best.
And then it's entertaining for us to watch him do the sticky feet and all that. Yeah. Yep.
That's your best recourse.
I didn't see it this year, but the other years I had the bird feeders up. It was really funny. They go jumping on there, and no matter what they did, they get sliding down.
Oh, yeah.
And when they got to the ground, they wanted to run away, but
their feet were achy.
Their feet were really...
yeah, that's got to be kind of gross, too.
Yeah. It was like somebody walking on a hot plate or something.
Fun for us to watch, though.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very
Sonny.
much.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
For all the information you give us.
Sure.
And,
my pleasure.
So far, so good with the plants. I have one. I don't know the name of the thing, but it has larger green flowers. It's like an evergreen. And one side is kind of bare. I went over. I got little growth coming off the end of the sticks, but it doesn't seem to be catching on.
It's struggling. Well, it's still early. Give it a chance.
Yeah. How about all like a plant food for evergreen bushes or something like that?
Yeah, that would work. A 10-10-10, 6-6-6, something like that. If you're looking, if anyone was looking for something organic, something like a holly tone, would work. Yeah, but a simple 6-6-6 or 10-10-10 granulated down there on the ground.
Yeah, I tried that Miracle Grow, and somebody said it doesn't last.
No. Once if you'd have done something like a Miracle Grow, and a few days later we get rain, it's washed away. So, but a granulated will hang around in the soil for several weeks at a time.
All right. Well, thank you so much for everything you do. I enjoy listening to you and all the information you have. And again, thank you, WOCA, for your programming.
Yep, my pleasure.
Thanks, Sonny.
Thanks for calling.
Day. Yeah, it is hours of entertainment if you watch
It is. And actually, back when we had the 4, was that 2004 when the 4 storms came through? And each weekend we bugged out of our place and went to a girlfriend's house, and she had one of those big barn-shaped feeders hanging out in a tree, and it's like, hey, Patty, don't you want to bring that in? And she, no, just watch. And the squirrel, the wind was blowing like crazy, and that squirrel's just hanging on and swinging back and forth and grabbing a handful of food and shoving it in his mouth. Exactly. And it was quite entertaining. Till the string broke because the wind was too much.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Good morning, you're on with Master Gardener Caroline Baldwin.
Yes, I was calling to see about, you're talking about the mosquito thing. What about bird baths? Can you put that stuff in the bird bath?
The mosquito dunks in the bird baths, you sure can, but bird baths need to be cleaned out so often that usually they're not a mosquito issue. They usually get slimy before they have a big mosquito issue, and that's why I said the bottle of vinegar, scrub brush, and the garden hose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about 10-10-10. Do y'all carry down at your store? Do y'all carry the slow release 10-10-10?
I know it's a 10-10-10 that will last. I want to say it's 3 to 4 months. I've not read the packaging, and I think they changed the packaging last summer to see how slow of a slow release it is. But it is, it's not something that's going to just react and be gone in just a couple weeks. It should be a 3-month, I believe, feed.
Okay. I've been having a hard time finding any 10-10-10 around. I couldn't find it at our Lowe's here in Ocala.
Oh, yeah, no, we've got it
on 48th.
Yeah, we've got it at ours and down there in Lady Lake.
Okay. If I have to go down there, I have to go down there.
Sure.
All right. Well, I thank you for your help.
You're quite welcome. Yep. Have a good day now.
All right.
Yep, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. 622-9622 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the show. Ask Carol Ann Baldwin any questions you got. And those are some good questions right there.
Yeah.
Especially about the bird bath. People go, you said clean it, but
yeah,
does it get mosquitoes in between the cleaning?
Usually, yeah, because usually we're cleaning out a bird bath minimally once a week, just because they get slimy. You figure birds don't care where they poop. Yeah. And it just kind of gets that, or in the summertime when it starts getting warmer, they evaporate rather quickly.
And if you got a good system where the birds come to your yard a lot, they're going to be in that bird bath putting oxygen in that water anyway. So
and they're splashing in it all the time. And actually, you're probably needing to add water if you're checking your feeders every day, every other day, putting some food out or anything like that. Take your brush it out, give it a quick rinse. Fill it back up with clean water because they're going to appreciate clean water. They don't want dirty, nasty water either. So, they shouldn't be a big problem.
When you talk about the squirrels in my yard, because I have a patrol, a patrol officer that makes sure that he tries his best to get the murderous squirrels at all costs.
I need to borrow
because
it.
he will tell you, he'll come in the house and go, I'm on patrol because the squirrels are not going to murder my family.
Right. He's going to take care.
Right.
Yeah, bark.
But when he's not, when he's sleeping and everything, you can look out in the backyard underneath the 2 oak trees we have.
Oh,
and they're digging the holes in because they're either burying now or they're digging stuff up. It's the worst. And so I wake him up and then he goes roaring out in the backyard. Never I don't know what he would do if he ever caught one. I don't know what he'd do.
Good shape.
He probably wouldn't know what to do. He probably wouldn't know what to do. Now, he has caught a bunny rabbit before. The little baby bunny rabbits. He caught one of those before, but Susan was not happy with it.
No, I'm not. You can catch the squirrels, don't catch the bunnies. I mean, I know the bunnies.
She says that,
too,
but that's before she started her own garden.
Well, but her garden is raised.
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's not a raised garden. It's just it's in an old area that we had shrubs
on
in.
The fence
she took all the shrubs out.
Oh, okay. I
and
thought
created
it was, I don't know how
well, she didn't. She moved it.
Around.
She moved it to beside the house, and so now it's an old area where there was probably 9-10 shrubs that were dead.
Just needed to come out of there. Yeah. Right. I'd get little.
She hand pulled the shrubs out of the ground.
Right. Oh,
that's how bad they were.
I on that something like that is getches. It needs to be at least 2 feet tall, and
chicken
fairly
wire
narrow.
Fence.
Yeah, chicken wire fence, or just you can have something a little more decorative if you want. Just something with a little bit more narrow slots, but 2 feet. They're not really going to go over 2 feet. Narrow, so they can't go through it. So and that kind of thing. Yeah, I got to get another roll up chicken wire for mine because even though I have a little bit of raised beds, they're not quite high enough to keep everybody out. Especially like the possums.
Oh.
Yeah, possums are
rough.
Possums are good guys that they eat the ticks. They take care of other bugs.
They're great animals too.
I don't have cockroaches. I mean, coming in the house, and that. But please stay out of my vegetables.
As long as you're not scared of possums or a possum's not sick.
Yeah.
If a possum's sick, they become very.
They can be aggressive. Yeah, they can be. Well, and that's with anything,
But if they're not sick. It's great. You can see a possum in the wild. And if you can sneak up on it without it knowing and jump at it, it'll just faint.
Yeah.
Because that's what everybody says.
Possum,
he's playing possum.
Yeah.
And then you can literally pick them up and everything.
Thank you. No. Yeah, one time accidentally, we don't know who scared the possum, but years ago it was like, hey, I found a possum dead over there in the woods. It's like, well, bury it before the dog finds it.
Right.
Kind of
but
thing.
It wasn't dead.
But it walked away from it, got the shovel, blah, 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 go dig a hole, scoop it up with the shovel. Yeah, we're talking a 45-minute process. Bury said possum cover it up. Next day, it was gone. It dug itself
out.
I mean, luckily he wasn't buried super deep. It was just enough to, keep the dog from, and possum got away.
Yeah,
so I'm sorry, possum, but I realize you guys are good guys, and that, but.
Is this the time? What time of year do you really need to be concerned about the destroyers of your lawn?
Now,
and I'm talking about moles.
Well, moles are around year round, but you'll know you have grubs when you start seeing the armadillos, and you can tell the armadillo hole. I don't know if we're on video anymore.
We are.
That they make a V-shaped digging. That when you see the dirt excavated in the yard, the point is in the center, and then you see dirt pulled back almost like as a V shape. You'll see a lot of crows in the yard. You may see the cattle egret or herons in the yard. You've probably got grubs, especially if you have a large supply of them. Yes, they eat earthworms too. Same thing. Moles eat predominantly earthworms, but they will also eat grubs. They will eat mole cricket larvae also. So they're going through there doing that kind of stuff. So, here was springtime. Everything's doing babies. Everything's eating. Everything's coming up fresh. The larvae that was overwintered is hatching and coming out. And so it's, it's that cycle of life.
I saw my first wood spider this spring.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he was, came out from underneath we got one of those boxes.
Oh, the hose reels.
The hose reel. Yeah. And he come out from underneath that towards me, and he was probably $half size.
Okay.
So he was a good wood spider.
Size, yeah.
And I just shoot him back. He was trying to come in the garage, and I just shoot him back out. Back out in the sun. But, I know people freak out over wood spiders.
And people freak out over a lot.
But wood spiders are great for you.
And 99% of our spiders will not hurt you. I
know banana spiders get into trees and everything.
And the webs the little crab spiders will get between trees, and they're really kind of cool looking, but they'll put a good pinch on you.
They will.
And so will any of them, but it's defensive. Usually they get caught between your body parts. Same thing with bees and wasps. They don't usually. Wasps have attitude, but usually you've pissed off the first one. And that's when they come on.
Now, hornets, on the other hand, don't need to be aggravated.
Right.
They'll just come after you.
Hornets and yellow jackets are,
They're different. But like the spider that bit me.
Yeah.
I probably had
I
pressed my arm on it. It was on the lawnmower or something. That's
like
probably exactly what happened.
Yeah. And that's usually what happens. I know when I got it was one of the little crab spiders. I had gotten the web on me, and I'm trying to get it off, and I bent my arm, and it's like, ow, and there he was. And so
Susan calls me in the bathroom the other day and goes,
oh, you had a shower spider?
You need to do something about that. No, it was upside down on the floor.
Oh.
But it was.
The shell.
No, this was a palmetto bug. But it was upside down on the floor because I'd sprayed. And so
right, you do. Your
its
regular,
legs were kicking, but it was upside down on the floor. Yeah. But it was probably 2 inches.
He got in.
And I was like, she's like, get that roach. I'm like, first off, it's not a roach. It's a palmetto bug.
It is. It's a roach.
Second off, she's like, I don't care. It's too big. And I was like, okay. I got it.
Those I need the dustpan. Yeah, I can't pick them up.
I just reached down with a piece of toilet paper and put it in the toilet.
If it's still wiggling, I can't. I can't do that.
Palmetto
dustpan, I can do.
And I know people.
They are in
people
the
are used to them
family.
here, but look here. If you grew up North Florida, up around the Jacksonville area, north of that, or in South Georgia, or in anywhere in South Carolina, palmetto bugs are a part of life.
And they are here too, especially if you have shrubs and landscaping and things like that around the home. The only cockroach that wishes to be in your house
is the German or Japanese.
The German. Actually, the Japanese doesn't want to be in the house.
Oh, he doesn't
either.
want to be in the house either.
No,
huh?
He doesn't want to be in the house either. The German cockroach is the only one who wants to be in the house, and those we usually bring in ourselves. Paper bags.
And they're small.
They're small. They're very hard to get rid of. We bring them in on paper bags, cardboard boxes, things we pick up at yard sales. And I hate to say that, yard sales and Goodwill, anytime you're going to buy, say, a piece of used furniture, bring it home, put put it out on a patio or in the garage where you spray
it down.
And spray it down. I mean, it's not that anyone was dirty. That's where they want to live, that kind of stuff. So we have a tendency to bring it in on ourselves. The other ones, the Asiatic ones, they usually come in because we've been cleaning up the mulch around the house, and then we have the porch light on at night. Or we have our security.
So
the
they're
security
drawn
lights.
toward.
They're drawn to that light. You open and close the door. They come flying in. That's when we see. So I should be hearing phone calls or people going, they're coming in. That's why. Get your shop vac out and vacuum them up. You'll get rid of them. You can throw away the. You can, if you want to, do it with water in there, and that way they'll drown when they hit that.
Is there any way to treat mulch to keep the palmetto bag? And the
sure. I mean, you can put your yard treatment kind of pest control up into those flower beds and mulch beds. You can do that, and that'll help knock those.
Because I know the pine bark mulch beds are famous for having palmetto bugs.
Because they're big and fluffy and they can go underneath there. But that's where those bugs want to live. That's what they do. That is their job in nature, is to break down organic material. When I found out that the little neon green roach, it's a Cuban cockroach. I think he's native actually, but they call him Cuban cockroach. They're neon green when they're at their adult maturity. I never knew it was a roach. I went, why did you have to tell me that? But I still think those ones are kind of cool looking.
I always thought that was some sort of a grasshopper.
No, he's a little flat.
Yeah, I know he's a little flat, but I thought he was like, I thought he was something in the grasshopper family.
You find them underneath the mulch and that, and so they're okay. Yeah, they're all doing their job.
Well, here where we live is the lizard capital of the world. So,
we have quite a few different lizards
they
and
keep
toads
them under
and toads and frogs and lizards all eat they help. And if you're spraying the perimeter of your home, if you don't want to spray in the home, if you or your pest control company spray in your perimeter, to keep them from coming into the home, you don't need to spray in the house. Personally, I spray in my house every other month. Basically my bathroom, my kitchen, and my door frames.
That's what we do. We do the door frames, the window frames,
if
and
you
then
have an attached garage,
where the wet stuff is, like the pipes that come in the house. And
right.
Stuff like
If you have a utility room that's attached within your garage, you might want to spray around those vents and things like that. Those areas where keep them from wanting to come in. Keep that perimeter. And I don't care which brand tells you that they give you 12-month insect control.
They do not.
If your pest control company can't give you 12-month insect control, how can the over-the-counter stuff that you buy for $6.97 at Walmart and Lowe's, give you that kind
last
of
up to 12 months?
Yeah, up to 12 months, so long as you don't mop your floors, wipe it up.
Right.
As
long as you leave your house dirty.
Yeah, so long as you just let it be. No, I'm sorry, it doesn't. So I do it about every other month, or so like that. Maybe every 3 months. So that is about every 3 months.
Every 3 months or so.
Yeah.
Carolyn, we got about 50 seconds. Where can people find you and become part of this?
They can find us on the In the Garden Facebook group page. I look forward to questions and pictures, and share your gardening experiences, your funnies, anything you got. And also down there at work, down there at Lowe's and Lady Lake.
Where we found out that at all the Lowe's they're doing this spring, they're doing DIY
There's all kinds
seminars
of DIY.
and everything.
I think I've got one I'm supposed to be doing. I think it's this Saturday on a raised garden bed.
See,
so,
that's what he said.
Yeah.
The guy told me this morning that we called it this weekend is the raised garden bed.
Yeah, and these are some pretty cool blocks we're going to work with. So,
Go down and see Carolyn Baldwin. Learn about raised garden beds.
Sure.
This is In the Garden with Master Gardener Carolyn Baldwin. Talk to you next week.
See you next week.
We'll be right back after this timeout on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
College basketball season has officially come to an end as Kansas defeated North Carolina 72-69 to win their second national title under head coach Bill Self.
I'm so happy and thrilled for our guys and our school and our fan base. It was so special.
Ukraine President Zelensky has pledged to reveal allegations of war crimes against Russian forces in occupied regions of his country. Zelensky said more than 300 people were killed and tortured in the town of Bucha, a suburb near the capital of Kyiv, reflecting on what he describes as a hard and emotional day after visiting the area. Russia denies the allegations. Ketanji Brown Jackson's Supreme Court nomination will be sent to the Senate for a full vote, despite an 11-11 tie in the Senate Judiciary Committee on Monday. Jackson's confirmation is all but a sure thing, as Republicans don't have the numbers to block a Supreme Court nominee that does not know what a woman is because she's not a biologist. USA Radio News.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free.
Thanks, Pat. Call toll-free 800-630-1490. That's 800-630-1490.
Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Again, 800-630-1490. 800-630-1490 today.
Or at SwissAmerica.com.
That affects the world's chocolate supply. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
Farmers, produce safety inspections are here. Prepare your farm with an on-farm readiness review. The Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services and University of Florida are partnering to provide this on-site preparation service for free. Our team of produce safety experts offer individualized support to make sure your operation meets the regulatory requirements. Contact us to help prepare your farm today. Request your free visit at www.fdacs.gov/OFRR. That's www.fdacs.gov/OFRR.
The Environmental Quality Incentives Program, or EQIP, is a continuous sign-up program allowing landowners or operators to apply for financial and technical assistance from many types of conservation practices. And USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service in Florida has made it easy to get more details. Just log on to www.fl.nrcs.usda.gov. You'll find links to more detailed information on the overall EQIP program, or simply stop by your local NRCS office.
Up to 40% of the world's cacao beans, which are used to make chocolate, are lost to cacao plant diseases. Researcher Dr. Alina Puig is finding ways to fight those issues. One issue she's working on is cacao mild mosaic virus.
And I did develop a test to detect the virus in infected plants. It's been used to identify infected plants in quarantine so that they could be destroyed. And it's also been used to identify infected plants and prevent the movement to new locations.
She said making sure the diseases don't spread is extremely important.
With plant diseases, because there are no cures, there's no treatments really that you can give a plant to cure a disease. The way plant diseases are combated are by preventing introduction to new locations.
We continue learning about cacao plant diseases and work to combat them in tomorrow's This Land of Ours. I'm Sabrina Halverson for the Southeast AgNet.
While we may disagree a lot, we do agree Rural King's our favorite place for spring planting.
Yeah, but we've got to focus. Roses, a couple flats of impatiens, and a spade.
A shovel? I'm thinking tiller.
We do not need a tiller.
Wait, a mower. Those new zero turns are sweet.
Focus. Roses, mulch, shovel, impatiens.
Jeez, talk about impatient.
Can I help you?
Yeah, chainsaws.
Let's go.
I'm almost done mowing this section.
Ridiculous.
When it really counts, depend